Welcome to ZOOMERTIMES TV. And here's your host, Anita Finley.
Hello, everybody. Okay, you're in for a very good treat. We have Roberta Hladek, and she's calling in from, of course, Las Vegas. She's not at a casino, so don't get excited. She has her own playhouse. She doesn't have to go to a casino. Roberta Hladek is CEO and co-founder of the Energetic Matrix Church of Consciousness, better known as the AIM program. So welcome to our show.
Well, thanks for having me again.
It's always such a pleasure, Roberta. You have the most gorgeous hair too. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but I have to tell you. Does it take you very long to take care of it?
No, I'm pretty low maintenance with it. I just kind of let it do whatever it's going to do.
Well, it's good. Okay, so let's talk about people. Let's make believe that some people have heard you, some people have joined, some people are, just kind of on the fence. Why don't you talk a little bit about the AIM program and then some of the new things that are happening with it?
Okay. Well, the AIM program stands for All-Inclusive Method, which means that you don't have to take any remedies like before in the old days. If you read the book Sanctuary, which talks about taking a homeopathic remedy, you used to have to take them at different points in time during the day. You might have to take them at night before you go to bed. There were all different types that you had to do. We no longer have to do that, which makes it so much easier when traveling because you couldn't let them go through the X-ray or metal detector at the airport, which probably be a little bit of a difficult feat through. So you don't have to do that anymore. Now what the AIM program does is it sends all of the energies that we enter into the computer to you. And what it does is we use your photograph and we put them on these trays. And the trays are vibrating with the information coming from the main computer, and it matches our vibrations and it removes the negative vibrations and helps increase the positive vibrations, which means that our life force, which is our inner strength to overcome adversities, anything that's going on in our day-to-day life, maybe good, bad, or indifferent, our life force is stronger and it increases when we remove those negative energies. And we always want to raise our vibration because the higher our vibration is, the more in tune with the universe we are, the better things flow in our lives. You don't want to drive up the wrong way on a street. You want to go with the flow. And that's kind of our energy. We want to go with the flow of the universe, and then it makes things create a better day for us. You have those days when just nothing goes right and you just got to sit back and stop and then regroup a bit, and then you kind of get back in sync with the universe or with what's going on around you. That's kind of like this. So what the AIM program does is it helps us to overcome this stuff. Like in today's day, we have all these viruses and things going on. We're nervous about them. We're afraid of them. They keep telling us all this stuff. If you watch the news, it's horrific. So with the AIM program, I have been researching all of these things, and that's my job, is to research and to put these things into the AIM program so that they can send out to us and help us with our vibration. So with that being said, it kind of helps us spiritually, emotionally, and physically to overcome some of these negative vibrations that are out there being bombarded at us. So it helps us we may not get these things, but if we do get them, hopefully our vibrations will be high enough that we can eliminate them a little faster than someone who's not on AIM. And that's kind of where my work comes in, because I'm testing that. And if I'm doing my job correctly, then we should get over it faster and have less effects of those negative vibrations.
Well, Roberta, that's excellent. That's so well said. And I think people will get an inkling, at least an inkling of what you do. I want to go back many years ago when I first met you. I met Stephen, who was a co-founder with you. And Stephen Lewis had a book he put out with, I guess, another gentleman. What was his name? I'm sorry. Was it
Evan,
just what? I'm sorry.
Evan Slauson.
Yes. And I read that book. That's before I met Stephen. You had sent me the book, and I was so impressed that someone who really had cancer, had been everywhere, and was really on death's door in a sense. And usually people don't come to your center to live there. It was strictly a place you do, but for some reason, maybe at that time, you welcomed her. And sure enough, you handled everything with her. You encouraged her. You did what you did. And she recovered from the cancer. Well, after that happened, I said, I've got to talk to them. I've got to do stuff with them. That's just too wonderful. So I know you remember that scenario, don't you?
I do.
So now it's different. Now it's strictly, I guess you've grown, and now people don't have to go there. It's
Right.
just, right, it's an energy. And when you're talking about energy, I have a couple of things I'm really hanging by my little fingers to hope that it happens. So you can get me, because I have been a member of AIM for many years. Please get into my stuff and give me some more power, please.
Okay, we'll do that. Well, that's the beauty of the AIM program, is that we can increase our vibration. And when, like I was talking about earlier, when the vibrations increased and we have more inner strength to overcome adversities and also to welcome those positive energies in. Maybe we're looking for a great relationship with a significant other. Maybe it's our work environment. Maybe we're changing jobs. Right now, everybody's kind of in a flux. You know, some people are working from home, which is very new to them. And then some people maybe are changing jobs. There's so much going on that the AIM program is so helpful in helping us kind of find our path and help us, give us that, we increase our strength. And that's really what we need to do. And then we take in the positive vibrations and eliminate negative vibrations. I want to make it clear, though, it doesn't mean that we will never have a bad day or never have an illness or a cold or flu or whatever you want to call it. It's all about how fast do we overcome it, and how gentle those waves are. Do we go really deep, or we just kind of hit a wave, a nice wave? So that's kind of where we're coming from with the AIM program. So
let me also remind you that, of course, we haven't talked about this, but that there are counselors, there are therapists all over the country that help you. So you don't have to fly out to Las Vegas. And one of them, Colleen Haney, she has become a friend. At the time, she was someone that we dealt with. And my husband was going into having, I don't think it was either knee surgery, it was something pretty serious. And she had him in there, and I guess she was working on his energy, and everything went off perfect. And at the time, he didn't really believe a lot of this. I mean, he did it because I asked him to, but he believed it afterwards. He saw that it did make a difference.
Yeah, for sure, it does make a difference. Whether you believe in it or not, you'll be able to feel it or see it for yourself. And you don't, like we always say, you don't have to believe in it, but as time goes on, you do start to understand how it works and how much better you do feel. So yeah, that's correct. And we do have facilitators. We call them facilitators that are all over the country. They're actually all over the world. And we match you up with someone that's hopefully closer in your area. And then they can help answer your questions. And they're kind of a conduit between you and us. So they disseminate information, new frequencies. Maybe we have a conference call coming up that you can jump on and listen to. We have recorded information, all sorts of different things on our website. So they kind of help and guide you in those areas. And Colleen she's been with us for a long time, and she's a great facilitator.
Yeah, she's had some good things happening to her. And I'm sure that it's because, everybody's got, it's called energy. That's what it all is. And you just have to, you can tap into it, you can tap into it yourself. But AIM is a program that helps direct it directly to you, because you may find that you can't do this all by yourself. And if you're on the AIM program, I guess, what do they contact you specifically if there's a particular problem?
Well, we don't really get into any, because we're not a medical program. We're more on a spiritual level, but it does help with our physical bodies too. Normally they they can contact the office here and get an application if we need to send one out to them, or the girls, my staff, can help them with our website. And we can, now we have it so you can click on the applications button and you can actually complete the application online and upload your photo, and it gets directly to us, which is much faster. But then there are folks like my mom who doesn't use a computer at all, and we just finally got her into an iPhone. So we would have to send her an application, which is fine. We can do that, and then you can complete it and send it back to us. So there's different ways that we can accommodate whatever your skill level is.
And I think if you will get on their website, which is aimprogram.com, if you get on that, it will tell you a lot of things that you may miss as we talk. But it will show you some of the other YouTube interviews we've done with Roberta, and we always do different things. She focuses on different parts of what they're working on, and that's what I want to do today. Roberta's told us now that even though they've been doing this a long time, there are always changes. And what did you say has happened recently, Roberta?
In June, my business partner, Evan Slauson, is my tech person. He does all the technical behind the scenes stuff. So he makes it possible for me to be able to add the frequencies into the system and have it disseminated out. So we do these, what we call a recapulation, for lack of a better word, I guess. And what we do is we work on different ways to make the AIM program more efficient, to make it faster, to make it the best we can. So he's constantly doing research on the technical end to help us get these frequencies out there. And we call it quantum leaps that we make when we do these recapitulations. And we did one around June, I think it was like June 15th for the day that we did it. And what we do is we kind of change the system a little bit, like I said, to make it more efficient and to make it a little bit more powerful. And so we did that, and we had a few people contact us and say that they were feeling some shifts and they were wondering what. So sometimes that happens, and sometimes we don't feel it at all. I personally didn't really feel much, but maybe because I knew it was happening. So I was waiting and waiting, but I do feel stronger. And I always do when I add new things, there's certain things happen. Some people were feeling it like they might have felt a little off. And then some people felt more exuberant. So it just depends on what you're balancing at the time, how long you've been on the program. There's so many variables that we all react differently. So it was all positive though for us. So, and that's what we like to do. We don't want to make it difficult on anybody. So that's kind of what we did. And it's, we always like it because it kind of is like a new evolution in the AIM program, and we're constantly evolving and improving it. So a lot of times we don't say when it's done, but this time we decided that we would let everyone know. And Evan wrote an article, and it was in our newsletter, I guess about a month ago. And he talked about the evolution of the AIM program, and he talked about the beginning, how we started it, and then what he just finished with the recapitulation. So that was kind of an interesting article that you can all read. And he put it up.
If you're not a member, can you get it even if you're not yet a member?
Absolutely.
So they just have to get on the AIM program and they can see it?
Yes, they can. And if there's any, if you can't see it or you have a hard time looking for it, just let us know and we can download a copy of it and send it to you. We can print it out and mail it to you, however it works for you. And you can get it. And also on the AIM program, like you mentioned before, we have videos of these interviews that I do with Anita, but also we have a little video on how the AIM program works. So if you're like me, I need visuals. So when I did a video which shows the tray room and some people,
right.
We have all different walks of life talk about their experience on AIM. So it's kind of fun. It's only 2 minutes long, so it's not like hours. So it's just a real quick. And then we also have one of Stephen when he was testing someone. So that kind of, what I do. And I don't test a person personally, but I use their photographs. So it kind of gives you a visual of what the testing looks like too.
Right. We keep talking about Stephen. Stephen did pass on to some other place. And he's no longer with us in a way, but he's always there because so much of what he worked on is there, and if we know energy, right, energy is always there, right?
Absolutely. And he just moved to a different form. He's just not in the physical. So there's times when I'm testing that I can feel him, sometimes I'll
really?
Voice
really?
My head going, that's not the way you're doing it right. You're not doing it right. I mean, I don't know if it's just me thinking about him, but then I have to like stop and clear it out because I can't be thinking about anything but what I'm doing. So every once in a while, I don't know if, some people believe in that and some people don't. And, but I do feel that there's energy of those, that were positive in our lives and had a big part of our lives. And Stephen was absolutely a part of my life, but also of the AIM program.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before, but one of the great admirers and person who participated with AIM was Wayne Dyer, because Wayne believed so much in this, and that's all his thinking was energy. And when he spoke, he was so motivating, and he really appreciated a lot of things that you did. So that was a great relationship, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Time. I still look at some of his articles and then some of his quotes, and they're just spot on for today. And he was an amazing too. I was lucky to have been able to spend some time with him just a little bit, and I was able to meet him, and he was just such a wonderful, just very approachable, really cool guy.
He was. Very smart. And I do want to make sure I give the phone number out for people who aren't on the computers. You said if you are, it's AIM. It's very easy, AIM program.com. But if you want a phone number, please get out your pencils. I used to say this was pencil talk, and now I say it's pencil Zoomer time. So please get a pen out and write this down. It's 702-944-1801. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, 702-944-1801. And you'll be able to talk to, whether you talk to Roberta or whether you talk to one of their other staff members, they'll help you. They're also so very nice. And they are located, as I said at the beginning of the show, in Las Vegas. And no matter where you are, as Roberta said, they are all over the world. So, it's a wonderful life that we all have now. You don't have to be next door. You don't have to be down the street. You could be anywhere. And especially with a computer, that they can help you attain the best person that you can be. One thing I don't know if we've covered before, but I remember it was a big thing that if someone had cancer in their family, they didn't even know it. Remember, there were times that Stephen would say, or you would say, well, we just discovered something and we got rid of all of that in everybody. Why don't you explain about that?
Well, what that was Stephen might have been testing someone and he found a frequency in them that wasn't on the AIM database. And we always said that as long as it's in the database, then those of us that choose to heal it will be able to heal it or to remove it from our matrix. So he would find a frequency, and it might have been something similar to that of a cancer frequency. So he would add it to the AIM program, and then it would be disseminated on the AIM program. Because remember when I talked about adding frequencies to the program so that they can be sent out to all of us that are on the program. And then you pick and choose the frequencies that you need, and your inner body or your higher consciousness knows what it is that you need to balance, or if you need that particular frequency, then you will so-called choose that. And then you'll be able to heal that frequency, and again, raising your vibration and your life force. So that's what he was talking about. So if that frequency is in there and you happen to be positive for it, you will be able to heal that yourself.
Yeah, and that brings up a good point about we've talked about people having certain things in their genes that they some of them don't even know they have it. I mean, they unless they did all the shows that tell you what they tell you who your ancestors were, but they don't necessarily say what diseases they had. So what you can do though, is people will ask me, well, do you have this in your family? Do you have that? I don't know, unless it was from my mother. I don't know what my great grandparents had. So it doesn't matter, right?
Sure. And you don't know unless, someone in your family tells you about it, then you know about it. Or if you knew your grandparents, then you knew what they were being affected by in their later years in life or what have you. Like in my family, before I was on AIM or before I met Stephen, my grandfather was in his late 80s and he was diagnosed with diabetes. And he was able to control it with diet up until the day he died, which he was 99 when he passed away.
Oh, wow.
Very lucky to be able to control it that way. But then I always knew that, okay, we have that in our genes. Some of us have it and some of us don't. I have 7 siblings. So between us, some of us have it and then others. So it's kind of funny how it skips around. You think that everybody would have it, but not so. So with the AIM program, you don't really have to know what it is that you had, because if it's on AIM and you have it in your matrix, then you're going to be able to self-heal that.
Amazing. And I asked Roberta, and this is Roberta Hladek, by the way, and she is the co-founder and the CEO of the AIM program. And I think I asked you this before, that what happens when someone does have a very bad illness, and and of course they're on the AIM program, but what is it that you actually do? You don't do anything specific for them, do you? They just, what is it that you tell them?
Well, a lot of times, most of the time, I know someone has when they come on the program. I have no idea. I just have a application and a photograph that comes across my desk, and I'm asked to check them for their life force and to see if they were energetically uncertain. And what energetically uncertain means is that for some reason your higher self isn't going to allow those energies to come through. And it could be that you are on a really strong medication, sometimes with chemotherapy or some other drugs. It makes it hard for those energies to penetrate, or it might take you a longer time to clear them. Or it could be just that the participant, see, a lot of times we have spouses or other halves or parents that want us on the program, and we're not so sure we want to go, but we're going along with it anyway. And then it's usually those folks that we might see uncertainty. And then if we contact them, like the facilitator will contact them and talk to them, it's usually they have a question, they're uncertain about something. And a lot of times the facilitator can explain or answer those questions. And then when I retest them again, they're totally fine. So it's two different ways, but that's kind of how we see it. But those folks that come on the program that may have something very strong in their body, maybe they are, they have some sort of debilitating disease or illness. A lot of times I don't know about it, and I don't really need to because I'm not a doctor and I'm not practicing medicine. But a lot of times they'll talk to their facilitator and ask the facilitator, do you have the frequency of blank on the program? Because I'm suffering from this particular thing. And the facilitator, if they don't know off the top of their head, they'll ask me, send me an email or call and ask if we have a particular disease or issue on the program, if those frequencies are there or something similar to it. And then we can answer their question for them and tell them yes or no. If it's not on there, then I'll investigate and see if it's something that I can put on the program.
And I want everyone to know this is a unique organization. You're not going to find this somewhere else. So if you're interested in any of this, and you should be, now with COVID and so many other things that we're not even knowing what's going to happen, it's so reassuring to think, well, I am on this energy program, and I am going to be the best that I can be. You know, I think we will run out of time eventually, but I wanted to share something with you. Yeah, it looks like we're just really quick. I drive a car has 196,000 miles.
Oh
and
my
there isn't
goodness.
a day, I know, and it drives fine. Every once in a while there's something, but I'm keeping my car as long as I can. I always pat it, tell it I love it, and say, remember, you're on the AIM program.
Oh, that's cute.
I don't know if anyone's ever asked you to put their car on the AIM program, but I believe it's on for me because my car is still running.
We have a lot of cars. I have my car on the AIM program.
Oh, you do?
Yes,
Okay.
my other husband's there too because he drives a lot. So we have it on there
Right.
just for extra help.
Okay. Anyway, we've run out of time, Roberta, but I'm so happy to talk to you. Every time I do, I feel so refreshed. And maybe one thing that Dan thought we ought to do one time is to have Colleen on with you also one time, you know, together. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes, it sure would. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye. Bye.
All right.
Thank you so much, Roberta. Remember,
You're
we have a date when you come down here.
Sounds good.